Good morning. Hello there. How are you? I'm starting just a few minutes early because I have had issues in the past. And so I just wanted to make sure that everything was working smoothly. So the presentation will start in just 3 minutes. Um, Before that, I just want to share um, who this is for. So this presentation is for those of you who find yourself freezing. If you go into any business situation and you find yourself freezing and you find your brain is going bananas, it's a great phrase. I didn't realize how strange that phrase was until one of my students pointed it out. It means kind of your brain starts to work overtime, it goes crazy in all different directions. So if you are a non-native English speaking professional who has this issue, then this training is going to help you. So we're going to start in just one more minute. For those of you who are who notice stuff very well, you'll notice that it actually says Thursday, the 3rd of October, and in fact, it's Thursday, the 2nd. So I just want to do a shout out to all of those who did notice. So thank you very much for pointing it out to me. But nevertheless, I am here and it's lovely to see you all. I'm going to be sharing my screen. Feel free to drop any comments in. I will come to the comments after I finish the presentation. And if you are interested, I have a little story time for the very end. I've had an unexpected morning, and I'll tell you all about it at the end if you are interested, particularly if you're interested in dogs. So let me press share the screen and we will get going. I really appreciate you for being here and I don't want to delay. So if you are joining in late, I'm sorry. I always start on time. I think it's an English thing. If you are on time, you are a little bit late. So if you're 5 minutes early, that's perfect. So let's get going. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy that you're here. I want you to know right from the start, this isn't a lecture, it's an experience. I really would like for you to get involved, nodding, raising your hand, sharing in the chat, either in LinkedIn or in YouTube. The more you put in, the more you'll get out, as always. The way you do one thing is the way you do all things. So let me ask you, have you ever sat in a meeting with a brilliant idea, but instead of speaking, your mind races with English words, doubts, corrections, and by the time you were ready, the moment has passed? I think everyone's been there. I've been there, and so have most of my clients. So if that has ever happened to you, drop a yes in the chat. Be honest, because I know that's most of us. And you are not alone. So this is exactly why we are here. If they don't know your brilliance, how can they experience it? How can they appreciate your brilliance? Okay, so work with me for a moment. I want you to actually close your eyes if you can. If you're driving, obviously, don't. But if you can, close your eyes and just imagine this. It's the end of the year. Bear in mind, we have just started the last quarter of 2025. You are in a meeting with colleagues from all over the world. Someone asks for your opinion. This time, you don't overthink, you don't hesitate, you breathe, and you say your idea clearly. Everyone listens. People nod. You feel calm, credible, respected. That's why we're here, to create this together. So raise your hand if that's what you want. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? So right now, if I'm reading the room right, or the room's right, you're probably feeling like English is holding you back. And it's not because you don't know enough words. Many of you did say finding the word or knowing the words and finding them at the right time was your biggest problem, your biggest cause of hesitation. But it's not that you don't know enough words. It's because when you try and speak, your brain second guesses everything. You replay conversations in your head. You apologize for yourself. You feel invisible in moments that really matter. One of my clients is an architect, and she told me, I sit in these meetings full of men in suits. I have strong ideas. But by the time I found the words, the meeting has moved on. She felt like her English made her smaller than what she really was. Can you relate? Another of my clients feels that her voice goes squeaky because her jaw clenches up because she's nervous. She doesn't want to make a mistake. Can you relate to that? But here is the truth. Staying quiet costs you. If people don't know you're amazing, they can't promote you. They can't give you that job. Opportunities go to others. Recognition passes you by. The longer you wait, the harder it feels to change. I'm going to say it again, we have started the last quarter of this year. How much longer are you going to wait? How many times have you promised yourself, next time I'm going to speak up, and then didn't? Be honest, has this ever happened to you? Today, I'm going to give you 3 main tips. I'm going to teach you how to stop the spiral of overthinking when you start and then you think, and then once you've thought, then you start to think, oh no, I've been silent for too long. Oh no, I've been silent for even longer. They're going to think I don't know the answer. This is the spiral of overthinking. So I'm going to show you how to stop that. I'm going to show you how to sound credible even if you go blank. Another big issue. And I'm also going to give you one daily habit that builds lasting confidence, because that's what we need here. These tips and tricks are fantastic, but lasting confidence, that lasts. You like that? Okay. So, have you ever replayed a meeting in your head, stayed quiet when you had the answer, felt invisible because of your English? Yeah. Imagine this instead. Speaking calmly in meetings, being listened to with respect, feeling proud of your voice, and yes, even your accent. Overthinking costs you missed opportunities, recognition, confidence. The more you don't do it, the more confidence you lose. The more you do it, the more confident you become that you can do it, because you can. So we're going to stop the spiral technique. Let's do that now. So what can you do when the nerves actually hit? I'm going to give you my stop the spiral technique. It's so simple. You can use it in 10 seconds before speaking. I have a client that quickly nips to the toilet for a minute or so before she goes into an important meeting or an important presentation. She quickly whizzes that feeling of nerves, which is something you are labeling as nerves, and changes it to excitement. Think going on a roller coaster. You have those feelings of excitement. So relabel those nerves. But before we do that, let's just stop the spiral. Breathe once, deeply. Anchor yourself with one word, like steady or calm, and then speak. This you can use in the meeting itself. Breathe in deeply. Doesn't have to be that obvious. You can just breathe in quietly if you don't want people to notice. Anchor yourself with one word. Pick a word that will anchor you. A word like steady or calm or confidence. And then speak. So deep breath in. So inhale that calm and steady feeling and exhale all of the doubt. Steady or calm. Already feeling more grounded? That deep breath gives your brain extra oxygen. And if you can relabel that nervous feeling as well, you're going to feel much, much more different. You can feel it. Much more different. That's not even a word. You're going to feel much better. Before one of my international workshops, I thought my heart would explode. It was the first time I ever did a face-to-face with a group of people, and it was a big group. And I was terrified. Not only that, but my computer wouldn't link to their big screen. So I had someone else coming to sort out the connection. So all of these things were going on, and my nerves were ramping up and ramping up and ramping up. And I just took 2 or 3 seconds. I breathed in, I held my breath for just a second, and I breathed out. My word is calm, because the way you think it, you say it slowly. Nobody noticed my nerves. They laughed. We laughed about the connection problems. Other people had the connection problems with the screen. And then I was able to get going. We were a few minutes late, but that few minutes kind of brought everyone together. It got them to know a little bit more about me and me a little bit more about them. Okay. Tip 2. Let's talk about what to do when your mind goes blank. And it does go blank, whether you're speaking in your native language or other languages. Most people freeze, they stall, they apologize. But leaders don't do that. Leaders speak in headlines. So a headline is a short, clear, and decisive phrase, sentence. It makes you sound credible, even if you haven't figured out what else you're going to say yet. So there's some examples. The priority is clear. Here's the opportunity I see. The big idea is simple. I have some other examples. So if you think about in a meeting, you could say the priority is clear. You're not saying anything. What you're doing is you're reiterating your leadership. You're keeping the floor for just that couple of seconds that it takes to organize your thoughts into what's coming next. If you take one thing away, it's this. This is a phrase you should be using in your presentations anyway. If you take one thing away, it's this. Leadership. This is all about long-term trust. So pick your favorite phrase and then anchor it in your mind. If you're doing this presentation on a computer, you can put a little sticky. So if your mind goes blank, depending on the circumstance, have maybe 2 or 3 of your favorite ones and use one of those. It just gives you that extra space. So these are really powerful. They sound strong, they buy you space, and they keep people focused on your message. So write a short headline you could use in your next meeting. Once I lost my place in front of 90 people, instead of freezing, I said, here's the big idea. And that headline gave me the space. People said later, that was so strong. They didn't even know I'd gone blank. They knew that I was telling them the key. Here's the big idea. Headlines sound like leadership. Remember that. So I've got a couple of extra examples. And if you want to reach out to me, I will give you a list of headlines you can use in different scenarios. For example, in team meetings, the biggest challenge right now is war. The priority for this week is clear. One thing we cannot ignore is this. Presentations. Let's focus on what really matters. Because when you're making a presentation, that is the most important thing. What really matters? The one thing that really matters in this presentation is that you are not alone when you freeze. And there are techniques that you can use. I've gone through two. I'm going to give you an extra exercise in a minute that you can use at any time that will help you through the times that you freeze. And when you start using these techniques, it gets easier and you start freezing less often because you already have the phrases that you need to use already dropped in. So if you have a client stakeholder conversation, the win-win here is obvious. Maybe it's still formulating in your mind, but it's obvious to you, you know it. You just have to put it into English. From your perspective, the key benefit is this. From your perspective, the key benefit of watching this training is that it will help you learn the tips that you need to get over this brain freeze. Different brain freezes. One is when you eat ice cream. Have you ever felt that brain freeze when, for me, it goes down here. It feels really cold inside. Okay, leadership or strategy discussions. The focus for the next quarter is clear. Again, you're not saying what it is. You're just giving yourself a second or so to make sure that words are in English. We need to protect the bigger picture. Let's simplify this into one clear goal. The impact on our partners is obvious. And when you truly go blank, sometimes you haven't even finished the thought in your own language. These headlines help you sound composed while your brain is catching up. At the heart of this is one idea. The bigger picture is clear. Here's the direction I would like to take. Cheers. I'm just going to drink some water. Okay, so get some of these headlines in your mind. The key is to prepare. What kind of situations do you see yourself in? Which of these phrases will fit in those situations? Because preparation is the key. They have a phrase, piss poor preparation prevents performance. So when you don't fully prepare, and everyone says, yes, I could do more preparation. The client that goes to the toilet before presentations, she goes to the toilet, she has a quick scan through her notes, and then she takes a deep breath. She puts her shoulders back, lifts her head, and goes into the meeting, a completely different person. She's already prepared what she wants to say. She's already prepared the ideas that she wants to convey, to give, but she just needs that extra minute or so. And it's so valuable. It changes how you walk into the room. You only get one opportunity to make a first impression, and 10 seconds. I think it's even gone down to 8 seconds now to make a first impression. And it's down to you to convey your brilliance. It's not down to anyone else to appreciate your brilliance until you convey it. They're not mind readers. Okay, so this is a daily confidence habit. This is a 60-second habit that gets easier and easier. Some of you might be following. I have started, thanks to Shanae Murray, a 30-day video challenge on LinkedIn. So I will be doing a video for 30 days so that I can improve my video skills. This is something I'm going to be doing every single day, which means my skills will improve and I will get more confident in these skills. This is a 60-day, 60-second, do it for as long as you want to, challenge. Every single day, record an idea. Record yourself saying an idea for 60 seconds. Don't judge it. Don't delete it. Just let it exist. If you do this for a week, you will notice that you start sounding calmer, clearer, and more natural. So choose one idea that you may like to convey at the next presentation, the next meeting, and record yourself saying it. The key point is start with that. It will stop you from waffling, from talking around the most important element. The key part is this. What is the key part? Because this is another leadership technique. Pick out the most important piece of information and say that first. One of my clients did this exercise for 30 days. At first, she hated her voice. I think everyone hates their voice. By the end, she was volunteering to lead presentations and calls. That's the shift. No longer does she doesn't care about listening to her own voice. It makes no difference to her. She knows she can do this well. She has confidence because she does it every day for 60 seconds. So these tips are powerful. And people reach out to me all the time saying, thank you so much for your training. Thank you so much for the tips. They really work. And they do work. The tools work. This is the truth. But real transformation doesn't happen in half an hour. Real transformation happens with practice, accountability, and support. Now, I'm really excited about this. I'm launching something new and very exclusive. When you're supported by other women on the same journey, it accelerates everything. So while I offer a one-to-one 6-week speaking transformation program, I'm so excited to be offering a group plan now. There will be an absolute maximum of 8 amazing women. It's a women-only course. I'm very sorry to the men out there, but for me, women supporting women, that leads to something very special. So let me be clear. This is not a course. This is a transformation. It's an experience. It's a safe place where brilliant women come together to practice, challenge themselves, and grow. Are you one of these lucky women? The Speaking Transformation Program will start on the 23rd of October. That's just 3 weeks' time, and it will run for 6 weeks. Maximum of 8 women. We will meet weekly. There will be live sessions with role plays, speaking challenges, and personal feedback. In addition, you'll have check-ins, accountability, and a community that lifts you up. Shares your posts, shares them with their own community, and have fun together. This is the whole beauty. It's supportive, it's completely confidential. You can practice together without fear. I will be running the weekly sessions. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you getting together and practicing doing role plays together on a one-to-one basis outside of the sessions. You will be supported. There is going to be a WhatsApp chat so that you can, I will, each day we'll do a check-in to see who's doing what, where, and how. Because these tips and the tips that I will teach you within the program, within the course, are to be used on a daily basis to help you grow your confidence. You're not talking about taking hours every day. We're talking about a small amount of focused time that will help you improve your English. By December, you will speak calmly in meetings. You will sound clear and credible, and you will feel confident and visible. You'll speak without overthinking. You'll feel your voice land. You'll finish the year already transformed, not making another New Year's resolution to speak up. People are already looking for the people that they want to fill their roles for next year. Companies are already looking to recruit. When you start this program, last time I did this program on a one-to-one basis, last time I finished the program, I have many programs ongoing, but right now, when I finished the last program, she wanted to get a new job, and within 4 sessions, she already had a new job lined up, ready to go. So how that could be you. So spots are limited because I want to give each of you enough time. I want to be able to give each of you my personal attention onto what focused activity you will be taking to improve your own skills. I have a waiting list, which I have set up. I will be putting the waiting list link in the chat. Doesn't cost anything to join the waiting list. If you join the waiting list and then go ahead and sign up for the program, you get a free 30-minute one-to-one session with me. That is dynamite. I will help you to set your goal and to pinpoint exactly where you can start right now that will change everything. So that 30-minute session alone is just worth its weight in gold. So here's what you're going to do. If you are interested in improving your English skills for your workplace, put your name on the waiting list today. It doesn't commit you, but it gives you the first chance to secure your spot before I share it more widely. The women who say yes now will be the ones who finish this year feeling proud, visible, and strong in their English. We're not going to wait till January to start. Let's do this together and now. I'm going to put the link in the chat to join the waiting list. By January, you could be flying. Is that going to be you? So today you have learned, stop the spiral technique. Taking that deep breath and coming up with that word that makes you feel calm. Shoulders back, head up, smile. Headlines technique. Phrases that you can use to keep your space while your brain slots everything into position. Daily habit for confidence, the 60-second record your key. Sorry, my dog is behind me. Record your key thought. This is a game changer. So imagine at your next meeting, instead of overthinking, you drop a clear headline and your voice lands with impact. That's the start of your transformation. So thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see some of you inside the Speaking Transformation Program. Sign up for the waiting list now because you will get priority for joining the program. So if there's any questions, please drop them into the chat. For those of you who want to hear my little story from today, stay with me. So I went to walk my dogs, as I do every single day. Some of you have seen the photographs of where I go. There was a dog sitting very strangely on the side of the road. I drove my dogs home. I came back and the dog was still sitting there. And I've watched quite a few like murder mystery, true crime kind of stories where the dog always waits by the owner's side. And for some strange reason, I thought, I wonder if someone's injured and their dog is kind of, because the dog was pointing its face into the field. So I thought maybe there's someone injured in that field. So anyway, I came and dropped my dog's back, and then went back in the car, took some water in a bowl, and then went back to where the dog was, and he was still sitting in the same spot. So I pulled in and I got out of the car. I put some water down, and he kind of was uninterested. I had a look round. There were no injured or dead bodies anywhere to be seen. And then the post office van came. They have a little van thing. And the dog ran away down the road. So I phoned up I have an animal welfare friend. She works for the animal welfare. So she said, I have a machine to check for the chip. So I'll come down and meet you there. So I said, okay. So she came and met me down. And we found out that the dog actually belongs to a quarry. And so that was my story. So there's no dead bodies, but it made my preparation for this training quite interesting because I was a little bit hurried towards the end because I was trying to save a dog that didn't need saving. So on that note, thank you so much for being here today. I've really enjoyed it. I really want to reinforce the fact that confidence comes with doing, and all these tips and tricks that I give you. And I give you tips every week. You'll see a LinkedIn Live popping up. And in addition, you'll see the newsletter. These tips are really useful if you want to use them. So please don't watch the training and go, oh, yes, that's lovely. Please use them because they will genuinely help. So with that in mind, if you want any help with anything, I am here to help you. If you want to support my LinkedIn Daily Video Challenge, please, please, please do. And I would really appreciate if you would give some love to this training and to the other trainings that I do. As I said, I do a training once a week. I have another one next week, and I do spend quite a lot of time and effort trying to make them valuable for you. So let me know what I can do to help you. Let me know the kinds of information that would be useful for you. I'm using feedback that I get from my clients, but if you have a burning issue that you'd like me to help you with, let me know, because if you have the burning issue, I can almost guarantee that others do too. So you might be helping other people. So feel free to give this a share, give it a bit of love, and I will see you next week.